Hello, Catfish World. How y'all doing, man? What's up? Welcome to the Freak Show on Lake Wiley, catching some catfish. I'm having a good day today. I was live earlier on. Hey, Nick, what's up, buddy? I'm gonna try doing this without sunglasses. Hope the screen doesn't overheat. Uh, anyway, it was earlier on Theater Melhorn Fishing on Facebook. Did a deal there. Caught. I think I caught a decent fish on camera. And was jacking my jaws for a little bit and decided to change locations. And I came to the other location where I said I was going to try something. I was going to fish a thermocline in it because I had a theory that some fish were here. And guess what? Was here 5 minutes, was actually taping the intro to my YouTube video. And hey, country girl catfishing, you're going to love this video when you see it. Was taping the intro saying basically it's setting up the next scene, basically saying, hey, I pulled up anchors, went to the next location. As I'm closing it out, boom, rod folds over, line screams off. A few minutes later, I reel in a 35-pound blue. So, bam, for shizzle. And I just put another one in the boat a minute ago that was 14 pounds and then a small one. So, got to click the ring the bell, boom, we're up to 7. So, better fish today. They've all been blues too, coincidentally. For y'all that don't know, I'll bring you up to date. We're getting a few more people in. I'm fishing on Lake Wiley. I've been here for the past 2 days. In the past 2 days, I've caught 8 fish total. It's been a pretty tough bite. I fished 2 different parts of the lake the previous 2 days. And so I tried something totally different today. And so far, it's been pretty good. 7 fish. I've caught almost as many days as I caught in 2 days. And I've got good size to the fish today. I've got 14, 18, a 35, and a couple of smaller ones. So, good day of fishing so far. Not super huge numbers, but listen, if I can put a couple of teeners and a fish that size in a boat, I'll call it a good day. So, I'm fishing with bluegill today and a few perch. I've got some perch. I caught some bluegill the other day when I came out in the morning. It's real easy to catch right now. Catching them on red worms underneath the bobber, up around trees. If you get out early in the morning, after sunrise, they're pretty easy to catch. You can actually put together a little video on it that I think has been published. And yeah, they're good bait. So I've got a tank full of those, and I've got a few perch that I caught yesterday, if you saw the live stream yesterday morning. So that's kind of what's going on. I hadn't had a chance to look. I kind of go on to Facebook every morning, every day, to kind of get a national fishing report on what's going on. What's that? I was screaming about the 2.5 pounds. With you, country girl. I'm gonna come back. You missed it. I think you missed it on my YouTube, the Facebook Live, and I want to touch on something that you just said because I think that's very important. I'll give some more people time to get in here because you bring up a very good point and something very interesting. Where was I? She distracts me. She's like my wife. A woman starts talking and I try to block it out, and then the next thing you know, I'm just kidding, giving you a hard time. Anyway, I've tried a few things. Maybe have something that's working here, which I'll get to in a minute. Y'all, once I go on to what Country Girl just said, because I want to address that, and that's a very good point, especially for new anglers. Remind me, just tell me about the thermocline, and yeah, I'm like a squirrel. I'll talk about the thermocline and why I'm here. So anyway, what she brought up was saying she was happy she caught a 2.5 pounder, and I had mentioned in my Facebook Live feed that sometimes we take for granted what we catch. I had caught an 8 pounder or something. Okay, oh, it's an 8 pounder, ain't that big a fish. For a lot of people, that's a huge fish. And especially for you new anglers out there, people that don't have a boat, people that don't have, it's my, water just bores me, Lee, so I put me some stuff in there. See, even Lee distracts me. It's not just women. Anyway, so anyway, my point is that people that, if you don't have a boat, all you're doing is bank fishing, you don't have a lot of big fish, don't be put down, beat down, discouraged, whatever, if you're not catching really big fish. Try to get an idea of what big fish are in your area. Not all rivers support big fish. Even this reservoir, while we catch 30, 40, 50-pound fish out of here, the top end, realistically, you're not going to catch a 100-pound fish out of here. It's just not I mean, there's just, you can't go fishing out here trying to catch one. You can go fishing out here trying to catch a 40, 50, 60-pound fish. They're here. I've caught multiple fish in that range out of here. But it's unrealistic for me to come out here and beat myself up if I don't catch a new North Carolina state record, because this lake just does not hold it. It could happen. It would be an anomaly, but you can't fish for those kind of fish like you can in a place like the Kerr Scott Reservoir, or Scott Kerr, whatever it is, Kerr Lake, where the world record came from. There have been multiple 100-pound fish come out of that lake, so it's very feasible to catch a fish that size. On the other end of the spectrum, for somebody like Country Girl who doesn't have a lot of big fish near where she's fishing, listen, if you know, you fish out there and you fish your butt off hours and hours and hours, and all you catch is an 8-pound fish, that may be the biggest fish in those waters. So my point is, be happy and be content, and don't feel bad about catching fish that size, because not every place has them. Not everybody has the access. Even places that have bank fishing. I know David Hausman is a guy that fishes out in Tennessee, bank fishing exclusively, catches some really good fish out there. They've got a lot of access in Tennessee, a lot of public ramps, public places to fish and gain access. But even as good as he is and as much time as he commits to it, he's still limited on, you know, different times of the year. He realizes middle of the summer it's hard for him to catch big fish. He realizes it's hard for him to catch them in the spawn. So you kind of have to keep all that in perspective with what you're doing. So this is basically my motivational pep talk for people that see, you know, you roll through Facebook. I said this earlier. You roll through Facebook, and as you're scrolling through it, you'll realize you're broke, your wife's ugly, you don't go on enough vacations, your car sucks, and you can't catch any big fish. I mean, it's just like everybody else is something different, something better, something above, something, you know, whatever. It's not that way. Okay, it's not that way. Trust me, there's a ton of people out there that would just like to have the opportunity to go fish and have a personal best of 8 pounds just to be able to fish, just to have that freedom. And there goes a rod. The fish can hear me. They hear me whispering. So that's why I say keep it in perspective. The biggest thing is have fun. Be a good steward to the resource, and you know, enjoy what you got where you're at. You can always go somewhere else if you want to catch a super big one, but you know, it's just fun. The challenge is like with me, I'm content if I kind of my benchmark every year if I can get a 50 or something. If I can get a 50-pound fish, I try to average 130 pound per month. You know, those are my goals. There are some places, if I lived on the James River, people laugh at that. Okay, but this ain't the James River, so I dare them to come here and do what they do on the James River, because you can. So that's my motivational pep talk. To keep it all in perspective and all that kind of stuff. Wow, it got quiet. Not a single comment in there. Maybe people are either listening or they've totally tuned out completely. For any new folks that joined in, I'm fishing on Lake Wiley. Fishing for catfish, obviously. Been anchored up. I've only hit 2 spots this morning. Got in here kind of late. I woke up when I woke up this morning, and fishing with brim and a few white perch. The section I'm in is kind of muddy. I'm in the upper reaches of one of the river arms, and due to all the rain and stuff these storms we're getting this summer, it's muddy. Now, back to the thermocline thing. I was grateful, no doubt. 2.5 pounds better than nothing. There you go. So yeah, I was thinking about you, Country Girl. Keep all that in perspective. So good, glad to hear people taking notes. All right, I'm going to tell you about the thermocline. You don't have to remind me because it just hit me. There's a thermocline on this lake, multiple parts of it, especially the deeper water down on the main lake where I was fishing yesterday and the day before. Now, there's also a thermocline, and right near here there's a hot water discharge from a power plant. Cooling, it's a steam station. They discharge hot water in. Water's really hot down there. It was 96 degrees when I came, but let me see what it is here. Hang on. All right, I'm in a section way above that where it's 85 degrees, okay? So I was in a section that was 85. I'm in a section now to where it's starting to warm up. Here's what's happening. You got that really hot water, 95, 96, 97 degrees, and then you have this muddy, colder water coming in. What's happening, that muddy, colder water is heavier. It's going underneath it. It's creating a thermocline. Normally, thermoclines are bad in that typically they're oxygen deprived. Fish don't like them. Fish hate them. They stay out of them. And sometimes if the water's deep enough, you're 70, 80, 90 feet, you'll have a band where if you look at the screen, you'll have your thermocline right here. It's wonderful up here above it. It's wonderful down here below it, but this section right there in the middle, do you like that? That's pretty interesting. Okay, that looks kind of creepy. I won't do that again. How about a thermocline here? Here's our thermocline. So above and below it, you can catch fish is the bottom line. So, but around some of these hot water discharges, there's a cold band on the bottom, cooler band I should say, and it's not depleted oxygen. It's got oxygen just fine, and those fish will be in that water. So that is a location, I've talked about this before, to where you can catch fish in a thermocline. Actually, you want to be in the thermocline. You can see it on your sonar. I'll put some stuff up on my YouTube videos, the edited version of this. You can see that band of water right down. If this is the sonar, it would be right down here in the bottom, and those fish are stacked up in that bottom section. So now that's tough for you guys that are not on a boat, because you don't know what's going on out there. If you're bank fishing, that's tougher. So, but if you're a good bank fisherman and you've done it long enough and you do it like I used to do, because I used to bank fish right near where I'm at now, you can throw that sinker out, and what you know is 3 feet of water. You know how long it takes for that sinker to hit the bottom. You can extrapolate that out when you chunk it out there away from you. You can count. You know the count for whatever weight you're throwing out there, and you'll know how deep, roughly how deep that water is. So, give you something to go on. Good bank fishermen know how to read the bank. They know that those steep banks coming up to the water edge, it's usually steeper drop off into deeper water. They know that when it's flat and going in, it's usually going to stay pretty flat. So, you can use all that stuff to kind of get an idea on what's going on with the thermocline. Good bank fishermen are damn good fishermen. The ones that can catch fish from the bank consistently like David Hausman does are impressive. They really put a lot together to make it happen in a limited space. So they always impress me. If you can catch them off the bank, you can catch them from a boat. The bad part about fishing from a boat is you got so much water, and then it kind of almost muddles your mind sometimes. You really have to rein yourself in, especially when you first start out. So anyway, but yeah, that's kind of what's going on with the thermocline. So I know when you ride down the lake into an area where there's a hot water discharge, and you look at that 96, 97 degree water temperature. I mean, it's not even comfortable to swim in. And you think, dang, there ain't going to be no fish in here. Find a deep hole, find a deep run. Usually there'll be some cooler water settled up underneath it, especially if you got a river flowing into it or anything. So, so that's my 10-cent nickel advice for catching fish in this hotter water. I'm going to fish probably. If y'all have any questions, throw them out. I can actually still see my screen. It overheated earlier, and I'm going to actually try to cool it with a towel right now. I'm putting some water on the back of it. When this thing gets hot, it wants to overheat. The screen goes dark, and then I can't see anything. So anyway, my plan is to fish out here a couple more, I don't know, probably another hour. It's Sunday. There's going to start to be boat traffic. And I think I'm going to make a run to a flea market to see if I can find me some lead for some sinkers. I like to run through the flea market every now and then just to see if I can find some good deals there on some fishing stuff. It's feast or famine. It's like a good fishing hole. What's the name of that guy? Muddy River something. Chris Flores, Muddy River Catfishing. What's up, pal? I want to show you where I'm at, buddy. You missed it earlier. You'd be proud. I'm going to show you where I'm at, buddy. I'm going to show you. Look at this. This looks like something you'd fish. Look at that. Look at that. There are no rattlesnakes over there in the grass, but it looks like something you'd fish. Look at that. It's muddy. It's a river, and I'm catfishing. Muddy River Catfishing. So, all my friends, check out his site. I should say site. Check out his YouTube channel right here on YouTube. Muddy River Catfishing. Does some cool stuff. I'm sitting out here moaning and complaining because it's like 90 degrees today, and it's hot and it's muggy. Meanwhile, he'll probably be going fishing in 95 degree weather at 11 o'clock at night out there in New Mexico. So anyway, let me put it back in my holder here. Yeah, I got a good channel. Fishes in some, what I consider to be pretty amazing stuff to catch the flatheads that he catches out there, and it always fascinates me. It actually opens my mind to a lot of places around here in that some places you just overlook because you go, there's not going to be fishing there, but he's pulling fish out of some really, really small places that really impress. What's Damon say? I've got some lead if you, 3, 4 ounce. Dude, I already want them made, man. I want them made and ready. Actually, I'm looking for bank sinkers. There's a guy, thanks Damon for that heads up. I'm looking for some bank sinkers, 2 and 3 ounces. There's a guy at the flea market that sells them dirt cheap sometimes when he's there. So that's what I was looking for. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. Oh, Muddy River Catfishing. Yeah, great channel. Y'all check him out. He's got some good stuff. He needs to, yeah, I think Chris, jump in and tell everybody when you release your videos. I think he has a pretty good schedule. Mine kind of come out all over the place, and I apologize for that if y'all like them more consistently. It's just I don't release the edited videos at the same time all the time. It's kind of, I'll try to give you a couple. What does that say? Oh, dang it. Let me see if I can get that back. Get back in there, yeah. I need a media manager on my boat with me. Let me know if you want to fish bait and tillery or the falls thingy. I saw somebody just asking about those rivers. I would like to fish them at some point. That may be a fall trip once it the bite gets even better. But yeah, there's I'm going to take this freak show on the road to a couple more places. Usually every Saturday, let me stop fishing that Saturday. There it is, Muddy River Catfishing, folks. Yeah, subscribe to him. Do like you do with me. Turn on your notifications. And yeah, he's got some good stuff. He's worth watching. Good guy, too. That's a good... There's a lot of people. There's some people on YouTube that got good stuff. And there's some people on YouTube that got good stuff, and they're good people. And that's what Chris is, and I like him. So he's got some good stuff on there. Appreciate what he does. There's a bunch of people I got to lay my hand and shake hands with at some point here. I'm looking forward to. Chris is one of them. Chat Cat's over there. Mike Chavez. There's just a ton of people that I've got to know through YouTube that I want to meet. And the Catfish Conference, for all of y'all that are into catfishing, will be next February out in Kentucky. For the first time since they had it, I'm not working I'm working the Daytona race, but the Daytona race is the weekend before. So my plan is to do all the stuff our production company does at Daytona, come back and head to the Catfish Conference. So I think I'll get to meet all these legends of the YouTube world out there and see everybody. I'm sure Luke will be out there. So Steve Douglas will be there. All the big ballers will be there. So and Chris out at Muddy River Catfishing is a big baller now if you look at how many subscribers he's got. But you don't get that many subscribers doing junk, and that's the name of the game. You got to put out good content, and it's got to be educational and entertaining. And I think people can sense when you're a good person. So that's probably why I only have 47 subscribers. So, and I've got 9,000 videos out. But anyway, I digress. Not just messing with you. I was hoping in all that rambling and jaw jacking I would put a fish in the boat, but it's not happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reel up here in a minute. I'm going to go down and I'm going to hit more of that thermocline stuff that I was talking about. And try one more spot. See if I can pluck one more monster out. And I'll give everybody a reminder. Tomorrow night, Monday night, Catfish Weekly on here on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed and tuned in. They should be coming on, I think it's 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. I'm not sure who the guest is this week. But yeah, be sure to check that out. We need to get more people subscribed to that because it's really, if you're into catfishing, it's really interesting. They go over a lot of tournament stuff, but if you're not a tournament fisherman, there's a lot of other people that they bring in, people with tackle and different stuff. And there's a good sidebar on the side during the live feed. You can get on there and talk and exchange information with people. There's people that chime in there and love your channel there. Hey, buddy, thanks. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. But yeah, you check, you get over in the sidebar, and if they're talking about something that's boring, we'll get over there and talk about fishing stuff. And you may see, you know, me or some of these other people in there, and you can throw out a question, you can learn something, you can even talk about what they're talking about in a sidebar. And it's a good way to send questions to them because they'll address some of the questions. And they give stuff away. They do the little spin the wheel thing. And they give stuff away. So yeah, check it out. Catfish Weekly. It's on every week, Monday night. And yeah, it's my Monday night entertainment. I actually like tuning in every Monday and see what's going on and listen to what they got covered. So for now, I'm going to bring this train to a halt. Everybody saying hey. Everybody say hey to each other because I'm getting ready to leave. If you have any questions, you can always, after this video posts, you can always go back into the comment section and put any questions that you have. So please put those comments in there. I love getting the questions. I think it's a good way to help educate people and help spread information, because like I've said before, I think the best anglers, the best catch and release anglers are educated anglers that have confidence in catching fish. Because I think when you have confidence in catching fish, you have no problem releasing fish, because you know you can catch them again. So that's the whole reason we do what we do out here on the lake. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. And I don't care where you're at in this country, stay out of the heat. It's hot. See you soon.